Good morning, everyone. Welcome to November 25th Board of Police Commissioners meeting. We acknowledge that we are on traditional lands of Treaty 4 territory, a treaty signed with the 35 First Nations across southern Saskatchewan and parts of Alberta and Manitoba and the original lands of Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, and the homeland of Métis Nation. The city of Regina owes its strength and vibrancy to these lands and the diverse Indigenous people whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory, as well as the settlers from around the world who continue to be welcomed here and call Regina home. The first item on the agenda is approval of the public agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the public agenda, please? Thank you. I'll call the question. Is anyone opposed? Carried. Next item is approval of minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting held on October 28, 2025? Any errors or omissions? I'll call the question. Is anyone opposed? Carried. So the next item is PO 25-29 variance report as at October 31st, 2025. Acting Chief Davis, could you please introduce the report?
Certainly. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. So as part of our commitment, we twice a year publicly report our variance for the current year, and so I'll invite Ms. Tracy Raisin to present that report.
All right, good morning. I'm here to present the variance report as of October 31st. So 83% of the year is now complete, and we've spent about 82.5% of our budget. So we're just right on track to stay within our budget for this year. I'm currently projecting a small surplus of around $11,000 for the end of the year. One of the items on the report shows cost recovered overtime looks quite high, but just as the title says, it's all cost recovered. So that's things like when officers go to assist on an investigation for another agency, we're able to bill back for that. So that extra cost is actually offset on the revenue lines below. There's also been an increase in provincial funding for some of our positions. So having that little bit of extra funding for our positions, such as our alternative response officers, helps to offset their salary costs. Again, it's all put towards the cost recovery of that. In regards to the capital budget, so there's 6 different categories of the capital budget: asset management, communications, emergency services equipment, facilities, fleet, and information technology. And some highlights of the capital plan this year include equipment for emergency services area, patrol radios, and then regular replacement of our fleet and information technology. Currently, the forecast for all of our capital budget is within target. Of course, some capital projects carry over a couple years because they're bigger projects, but all still within budget. That concludes my variance report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Does the board have any questions on this? All right, well, thank you so much. Can I have a motion to receive and file the report, please? Thank you. I'll call the question. Is anyone opposed? Carried. Next item is PO 25-30, RPS monthly crime statistics for October 2025. Acting Chief Davis, could you please introduce the report?
Certainly. So for the monthly crime review for October, so from January to October, overall crime has decreased by 15.8% compared to the same period last year. Both crimes against the person and crimes against property have continued their downward trend. Crimes against the person are down 13.2%, and property crimes are down 16.6%. Would just highlight a couple of files that are included in the report. On October 13th, Regina Police Service launched a homicide investigation in relation to an incident from the 100 block of College Avenue. So 3 people have since been arrested and charged in connection with that. And October 16th, members of our drug unit, with assistance from our tactical support team and our canine unit, concluded a drug trafficking investigation resulting in the arrest of 2 males and a seizure of 1.1 kilograms of fentanyl, 1.9 kilograms of meth, 691 grams of cocaine, and that seizure value is estimated to be about $250,000. So great work by that unit, who's really been knocking it out of the park in terms of getting illicit drugs off of the streets of our community. And I would just highlight the complex needs facility. We had 147 transports to there in October. And I went out on a ride-along, a work-along, not a ride-along, 2 Fridays ago. And I said one of the things that I wanted to see was if we were transporting someone there, what that looked like in terms of, how it flowed for our officers. And it was so quick. It was probably a 5-minute handoff in terms of us taking someone there, ensuring they were searched, they printed out a template report, handed it to the staff there, and our officers were back out in the streets. So in terms of efficiency and time for our members, it certainly is a great addition, and certainly for the folks that we're transporting there, they're getting additional supports that they need to try and get out of that cycle of addiction. So I would say that continues to be a big success for us. So I think those are all the things that I really wanted to highlight, but certainly happy to answer any questions.
Does the board have any questions?
Yes.
Go
Need
ahead.
to look left. Since my colleague isn't here, I'll make sure I ask the question for him around arson. Can you just remind us what the other category is, and then just with the bin fires, it looks like we're a little bit more in line in October with previous year.
Certainly. Sorry, I need to get my glasses out for the very fine print here for arsons. So you'll note on there that they're broken down by bin fire, structure fire, vehicle fire. Other, I believe, are, let me just check here. I think that they're like other structures, like a shed, or something along those lines. So not like a house fire, but like an unattached building, essentially. So, and in terms of, we're happy that we're seeing that single-digit increase. So it's something that we are continuing to work on. I know our arson investigator just sent out a list of folks that they're keeping an eye on to all of our patrol officers, so that if they happen to come across them, to make sure they're abiding by their conditions. So certainly that monitoring of folks who have conditions, who are living in our community, who have previously been charged with arson, is a big part of the work that we're doing.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions? Make sure I look both sides. All right, go ahead.
Not a question, more a comment. Great work on seizing those drugs off the streets. I was also at an event about a couple weeks ago, was it, where we got some money from the provincial government, so do you want to mention that?
Sure. So part of the civil forfeiture and criminal proceeds, the government will essentially provide funding to police agencies throughout the province to help with things like range improvements is what we had. Our range is quite dated and old and showing signs of being worn down, so they provided funding for us, an investment into improve the range. So essentially the program works that when we seize assets, buildings, vehicles, money, criminal, what's the word I'm looking for? Forfeiture, criminal assets, I guess another way to put it as well. They will disseminate that to the police agencies. So yeah, it's always a good news, and it shows the work that we're doing for the Regina Police Service and other agencies throughout the province, giving that to the government, then in turn making that investment back to the police services.
Thank you.
Any other follow-up questions? All right. Can I have a motion to receive and file the report, please? Thank you. I'll call the question. Anyone opposed? Carried. Can I have a resolution for private session, please? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, hearing none, carried. We'll recess for 20 minutes for the media scrum. Thank you.